Hey everyone, welcome to another video by Boom Shaka. In this video, we'll be speaking about how INFJs can basically spot a fake a mile away. We're basically allergic to fakeness. And I know a lot of people say that they're allergic to fakeness, and then we'll be sitting there and a fake person will come and talk to them and they'll be like, oh my god, they're so great. And we're going to be thinking to ourselves, they're a fake. How can you be impressed by this person? And so in a lot of cases, I'll be actually sitting there and everyone on the planet is loving this individual in front of me. And all I can think of in my head is that this person is a fake and there's something wrong with them and they give me the heebie-jeebies, if that's the right word, and I can't stand to be around them. And so I'll be the only person who doesn't like this person, or one of the few people, and I won't understand why everyone else loves them. And I kind of start doubting myself. I think to myself, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're actually a good person. Maybe I should really try a little bit harder. I'm so judgmental, blah, blah. So I'll start putting myself down, and then I'll try with this person. And then the more time I spend with the person, I'll realize the more fake they are, or there's something off about them. Either they're a psychopath in some way, or a sociopath, or they have something off about them. And so I've learned now over time that I need to trust my judgment. I need to trust my opinions of the world around me because I know what's going on. It's my intuition. My intuition is really powerful. And this is all about INFJs. INFJs know when there's a fake person in front of them instantaneously. They could just walk into the room right now and I'll know if they're a fake or not. And that's what INFJs do. We know. So if you're trying to impress us in front of us, in front of whoever it might be, don't do that, because if it's an INFJ in front of you, they're not going to be impressed. They're not going to be impressed by fakeness. They're not going to be impressed by shallowness. They're not going to be impressed by all that stuff. They're going to be impressed only when they know truly intuitively that you're a good person, that you're a good person with good deeds and good skills behind you, or whatever it might be, right? They know when to be impressed and they know when not to be impressed. And so when I notice someone being impressed by someone that is not impressive, instantaneously my respect for that person drops. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if they can't even figure out that this person's a complete fake, then how can I trust their judgment anymore? So when they tell me, oh, I met this person yesterday, they're so awesome, they're so great, they're so organized, instantaneously my warning signals go off because I'm thinking to myself, they don't know what they're talking about. They trusted this person who's an absolute fake, who's so fake that I can notice him a mile away or her a mile away. How can I trust their judgment about this new individual? I can't, and I won't. So a lot of times I am very careful with the people around me, what they tell me about people. If they're telling me, oh, this person's awesome, I won't believe it until I actually meet the person face to face, and I'm able to feel their energy, and I'm able to feel who they are, intuitively gain insights about who they are. Until that point, I don't know who you are, and I don't trust you, and I don't know if I'm going to be friends with you. I need to make these judgments on my own. A lot of times people are like telling me good things about people, and I try to keep an open mind until I meet the person. And as soon as I meet the person, if my intuition warning bells are going off, that's it. You're cut off kind of thing. You're like, I'm not going to be friends with you because you're not the kind of person that I want to be hanging around. I don't know if that sounds really snobbish, but that's the way it is. Because, again, like I said, we have very limited energy, very limited time on this planet, very limited spiritual, energetic, energy. So I don't want to waste it on people who are fake or who are the kind of people that I don't want to hang out with. For example, yesterday I went to this event and everyone was so impressed by the couple that was running the event. And all I could think of was they're scammers, or there's something wrong with them, or there's something that I don't like about them. There's something off about them, and I cannot be around these individuals. And so everyone was so impressed by them. They're all praising them to the Lord, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, I need to leave this place right now because I cannot be around this kind of energy. And so I don't know how to explain it, right? If someone asks me, do you like that person? And I'll think to myself, no, I don't. But if I tell them that and they'll ask me, but why? I have to actually tell you, I won't be able to explain why. Eventually in the future, in hindsight, there'll be things that'll pop up and I'm like, oh, right, it's because they did that, and then they did that, and then that's when I started thinking that. But intuitively, instantaneously, I know that I don't want to be around this person because they're not real, They're putting out this facade in front of everyone, and they're not really showing their true self to me right now. And I don't know what their true self is because they're hiding it underneath that mask of fakeness. And so until I actually get to see their real self, and once I see their real self, I know I'm not going to be impressed either, because if you're hiding your real self under a mask, that means you don't actually really truly love yourself, or there's something wrong with your true self, right? So why would I want to hang out with a person like that, right? I want to be hanging out with people who are completely true to themselves all the time in front of everyone, and they don't have to hide any parts of themselves because they are who they are. That's who they are. They don't have to justify themselves. They don't have to talk about it. They don't have to complain. They don't have to whine. They don't have to beg. They don't have to plead. They are who they are, and that's what they are putting out in the front of the world. You like me, you don't like me, it doesn't really matter to me, right? Those are the kind of people I want to hang out with. If you're being fake around me or around anyone else, then there's a reason for it. And I don't want to discover the reason. I just don't want to be around you anymore. And so I know those people who were being impressed by these individuals yesterday, all of them have kind of dropped in my respect value level a little bit. Of course, I'm not going to say that I'm just going to hold this opinion forever for all the people who's dropped a little bit. I'll keep my mind open. I'm always keeping my mind open. Just be careful as INFJs not to close off your mind completely. Keep on getting new information about the people, because people keep on changing. I might have been fake 10 years ago, but now I'm not fake, right? And so we need to keep our minds open, but we need to be careful that we don't spend too much time around these people, because it's draining. Fakeness for INFJs is draining. Small talk is draining. Small talk is fakeness, basically, right? Because you can't have a real conversation with a person. Can't ask them, are you happy? Are you doing what you want to do with your life? Do you know your life purpose? Blah, blah, blah. You can't ask these questions to them because they don't know themselves, right? And they're still discovering themselves, or they've decided that they don't really care about that stuff. All they want to do is consumerism. Whatever it might be, small talk tires us out because it's fake, and also fakeness tires us out because it's unreal, unauthentic. It's fake. Most people, though, won't know fakeness, even if it hits them in the head with a hammer. But it's not our responsibility to tell people when there's someone being fake around them. Not your responsibility, guys. I know what we think is that we're counselors, so we just want to protect everyone from everything. Don't do that. I've done that in the past, and these people who are fake, they're really good at what they do. They're salespeople, right? And so people love them because they're good salespeople. So if you start telling people about the fact that they're fake, or you don't trust them, you're the one who's going to lose friends, or you're the one who's going to lose acquaintances, or you're going to lose people around you, not them, because they're good salespeople. You're just an INFJ. You're just an intuitive person, right? You're not a salesperson at all. Actually, INFJs need to learn how to be better marketers, because we have a lot of skills and a lot of talents, but we're also really always putting ourselves down. We don't actually trust. We have all these skills and talents, but we don't think they're good enough, because we're never good enough, right? Because we're just too critical of ourselves, of everyone else. And so again, obviously we're trying not to be critical, but remember that you being intuitive and you following your intuition is not you being critical. There's a big difference between the two things. Instantaneously, when I get a message from my intuition saying, warning signals, warning bells, be careful around this person, I'm not being critical. I'm following my intuition. My intuition knows something. It's noticed something in the background that I haven't noticed consciously, because there's so many bits of information coming at us all the time, right? All the time. What intuition does is that it sees below the surface. It sees beyond all of those bits of information. My subconscious must have noticed something about this individual that I didn't notice consciously, because I'm too busy living in this world and answering their questions or just being in a conversation, right? But my subconscious instantaneously notices something there's off about them. And so I trust my intuition, but I'm not being critical. I hope you guys see the difference. We really, really, really need to, as INFJs, trust our intuition. That is our power. That's the power that we have. And most of us, because we get all this information about people without even knowing where it's coming from, right? I'll know instantaneously all of this information about them. It's like Sherlock Holmes. If you guys have watched the latest series with Benedict Cumberbatch, really, really, really great actor, really great series, he gets all of these tidbits of information flowing at him all the time. I think he's an INFJ. But he gets all this information, and he's able to deduce things about you. That's basically what we're doing as INFJs as well. I get all this information about you. You'll be standing in front of me and I'll know all these things about you instantaneously. But if you ask me to explain it, I won't be able to explain it because it's all subconscious. It is all done by my intuition. It's all done subconsciously. And so I can explain it over time if you ask me over and over again, like, why did you say that about this person? And I'll think to myself and I'll think, I think it's because of that. Yesterday, the reason I got the heebie-jeebies around those people is because, and I don't know how to explain it, but because they were fake, because they were trying too hard. They were trying too hard to play the role of the entrepreneur couple. They were trying too hard to play the role of lovey-dovey couple. They were trying too hard to play the role of successful couple. They were trying too hard to play the role of whatever the crowd wanted them to play, right? And so instantaneously, as soon as people start trying too hard, you only try too hard because you know the reality sucks. So you have to try extra hard in order to mask the reality. If you try too hard, it means that you don't really believe that your true self is good enough, or whatever your true being is, or whatever you're trying to hide is not good enough. What are you trying to hide is what I think whenever people try too hard. Why are you trying so hard? Who are you trying to impress? And if you're trying to impress us, why? Why do you need to impress us when you're already in front of the crowd and you're already in charge of the situation? When you're already in charge of the situation, you're already the speaker, you have no need to impress me. You're already the speaker. But if you're trying to impress me, it means you don't believe in yourself enough. And at that point, I don't believe in you either. And so that's the reason instantaneously in my mind, warning bells, right? Warning signals. No, I don't trust these people. And so now I can explain it because I've thought over it. But if you asked me yesterday, I was standing there and I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I can stay here. If you asked me yesterday to explain, I wouldn't be able to explain it. And that's what INFJs, unfortunately, are to our detriment because we have this power of deduction, of being a Sherlock Holmes, but we're not able to explain it. Over time, I've learned, okay, why do I think that? I've actually learned to ask myself these questions and to analyze my own reactions to see, what is my subconscious seeing? What is my subconscious seeing that I am not seeing? And so I see it, and then I analyze it, and I'm able to learn through it, right? Over and over and over and over again. I do that over and over again. Whenever I meet someone new, what do I see about them? Why do I see that? What did I see that triggered this reaction in me? Etc., etc. And so over time, I know what it is. And so I can deduce it pretty quickly, why I don't like the person and what's going on with them. Why are they a fake? But I think a lot of new INFJs or people who are just discovering their INFJ skills or their personality, you guys need to train yourself to learn what is it. Because people are not going to trust you unless you have a reason for why you believe the way you believe, right? If someone asks you, why don't you like that person? You should be able to explain to them why. Otherwise, they're not going to trust your judgment. Because people need reasons. You yourself I don't need a reason. I know that my intuition is telling me that. I don't need a reason for it. My intuition is so freaking powerful. It's tapped into everything that I don't need to ask it questions on my own, for myself, right? But in order to live in this real world, because I know we spend a lot of time in our heads, but we need to live in the real world as well. And if you want to be able to use your skill as an intuitive person in the real world, and you want to be able to explain to people that you are a skillful individual, you have to be able to explain why you believe certain things to be true. It doesn't matter though. I mean, your opinion is your opinion, right? My opinion about this couple is my opinion. It doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. I don't want to bring other people out of the situation. No. That's not the reason I'm doing this. I'm not doing this so that I can explain to you so I can pull you out of a dangerous situation. That's not my responsibility. That's your responsibility to do it for yourself. You're an adult, I'm an adult. Let's take care of ourselves, right? So I'm not doing that to take care of you. I'm doing it so I can take care of myself. But if you ask me for an explanation, I'll give you an explanation. But if you don't trust my explanation, that's totally fine with me. It's not my responsibility to convince you because you are an adult or you are your own person and you can make your own judgment. I hope. And that's your responsibility to take care of yourself, and I'll take care of myself and I'll trust my judgment because that's my judgment, right? And I'm not saying these things so I can convince you guys to hate someone. No. That's not my responsibility. I don't want to be responsible for that. Because if that turns out to be untrue, or if it turns out to be in a way where someone misses out on something because of that, I don't want to be responsible for that. It's not my responsibility. It's your responsibility to take care of yourself and be your own person. So I'm not doing this so I can take care of other people. Again, if you ask me, I'll explain it, obviously, because that's my responsibility to be able to explain myself and my reactions, but it's not my responsibility to take care of you. I hope this makes sense to you guys, yeah? INFJs can really, truly spot a fake a mile away. It's not even funny anymore when I do it, but I know that I trust myself so much now that if something happens and I can't explain, I know that my intuition is guiding me right. It's always, always guided me right. Always, 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 always. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I hope that you guys have an amazing day wherever you are. If you guys have any questions at all, please message me anytime. I'll talk to you guys the next time around. Bye for now.